Hello, my lovelies. Dear old Uncle Heavy Arms here, and welcome to a beautiful Friday evening. I am joined today by
Hello.
Tyler York, a very old friend of mine, former tech at the Tin Shop, which if you watched yesterday's video, you know exactly what that is.
Scary dark place.
And actually one of our veterans at the Haunted House, which
Greetings.
personally we could use something like that to explain some of the ins and outs of what goes on with dealing with haunted house work, because Halloween's just around the corner. It's only June, and haunters never die.
That Halloween is extension. You have Summerween, you have actual Halloween, you have Holidayween. It's a year-long procedure, and Halloween never actually goes away for us.
This is true. So, Tyler, how long have you worked out at the Haunted House? Let's start with a simple one.
I started working at the Haunted House in 2001. That is my sister, or my older sister, started with the Buchanan High School junior class, and my father started helping her, and he just let me tag along. And ever since then, I slowly went through the whole process of working off season, which means yes, the Haunted House actually does operate all year long, but it's only open to the public during the Halloween season. It's open year round for repair and modification. Every year it's changing. All year long there's people building and hurting themselves out there.
That does not mean an open invitation to come see what we do during the summer unless you intend to help.
Yeah, no, it's you want to contact the Haunted House office in Cassopolis before coming out.
Go figure. Haunted House, St. Niles.
Yeah.
The office in Cass.
I started working there. I worked my way up, and because of the Haunted House, I've learned carpentry, plumbing, electrical, and how to drive.
And we'd like to point out, everything we do during season is charity work.
All of it. I'm one of the few members of the 2000 Club. I have registered over 2,000 working hours at the project.
I've been
All for
out
free.
there for a decade and still don't have that many hours. But I've also had to miss nights being, an assistant DJ and a night shift worker. Gotta love it. All right, so what is it you actually personally do? What is like your character? Are you a midway monster? Are you a fieldy? What is your position?
Through my history at the Niles Haunted House, I have done everything. I have worked in every attraction, and I've covered almost every role except for accounting.
I didn't even know we had an accounting office. I mean,
Well,
in fairness, it's charity work, so I assumed we wouldn't need one. That and we had Pete.
by accounting, I mean the tellers, the cashiers, people for buying the tickets.
Oh, okay.
All aspects of security, working, and acting, I've done. From Field of Screams to Niles Haunted House. Sorry, I'm swatting at my son. That's my son. But the Haunted House itself, I've been there, done that.
It's actually quite an impressive resume. So, if you had to choose one of your favorite characters that you have done, what one would top the list?
My favorite character was actually one of my first character I had out there. Before I actually made a solid character, it's just something I threw together. We had a collection of junior-sized green jumpsuits. Pete himself wasn't even sure where they came from, and they just happened to
Cabbage Patch Kids, maybe?
they were well fitted for a 4-foot adult. And
Do we have any 4-foot adults out there still? I mean, I know one of our actors is about 5 foot. Well, no, she's 4'10", maybe.
I don't know, but they were small, and he doesn't know where they came from. But as stocky as they were not going to fit a child well, and I just happened to be a stocky young lad. And I had that, and I had a big floppy brown hat, and I found this giant glove. It was like a monster hand glove.
I think that's still out there.
Well, I have it still. It's deteriorating, and the latex is falling apart, but I have it still.
True
And then
veteran.
I have the remaining one left. And I have my original. It was a skull mask, and that's what I wore. I wore that little skull mask. And the original magician out there, Sean Begonia, came up with my character name. It was Sir Skullahand. And with that character, he's transformed over the years, but Sir Skullahand, because it was a skull and a hand, that was my original character. But because I was so small but I was so plainly dressed that I didn't really look like a character until you looked at my face or I reached out for you. Nobody noticed me until I was right in front of you.
No.
And I'd make my move on you, and it was.
Jesus,
subtle.
sounds like high school.
Well, ladies.
It's
I'm invisible until I actually do something.
Watch me fall down. I love the attention, good or bad. Anyhow,
I just bad publicity.
but that was my first and favorite character that I've ever made. My mask I had to retire. I had the mask for so long and I had been exposed to so many different chemicals that eventually the latex started falling apart and caused me to have an asthma attack in 2000. It was 2008, 2009. It was one of those.
I know
it
I was
2008.
around for that one. That's why I said I believe that was 8.
Yeah, it's 2000.
I was right there near the
2008,
medical team
towards
when
the
I
end of the
heard
year. It actually forced me to go into an asthma attack. I had to be rushed to Lakeland, which is behind us-ish.
And you gotta love, especially if you're back somewhere in the fields or something, and you have to show the medical people how to get to them. Because the maze is no joke, even for some workers, especially rookies. You will actually get lost in this place.
Yeah.
It's quite a large property line, I've got to say.
How many acres is it? It's,
I've lost count over the years. I think we keep stealing people's land at this point. I think the neighbors are getting mad.
well, she was mad to begin with. That's a whole other story. You can look into Niles Township records for the notes on that one.
Well, I gotta
Anywho.
say, overall this, I mean, we've covered a lot of things, especially when it comes to actors. So for new rookie actors that want to come out and work there, what are some pro tips you have for them to get good scares, but not overstep boundaries?
The best way to respect boundaries for getting a good scare without is what scares you. How would you be startled? Because there's a big difference out at the haunted house. There's different levels of scaring people. You have a startle, a scare, and you have traumatizing terror. And with it being a haunted house, you don't want to ruin people's fun. People come out there to have a good time, and you don't want to ruin their experience out there because you want them to come back. So the best thing I can say to a beginner, go for the startles. They're not going to be the most thrilling. You're not going to feel like a terrible monster at the end of the night for it. But you're going to get the point across that people are going to jump, everybody's going to laugh, and it's going to be a good time for everybody involved. The best one, I still use it even though I'm a seasoned veteran out there. I'm a jacket holder. The best scares that I still can get are walking around a corner. Not even intentional. Seriously, just walk around a corner to the next person and them being right in your face. And it's the general, I'm startled, they're startled, so the best thing you can do, throw your hands up and be startled together.
He does not joke. I've been out there for 10 years. I also am a veteran. I have gotten more scares in 10 years by literally just walking up behind someone and leaning down and saying hi than anything. No spooky words, no scary little gimmick, just literally leaning down and saying hi.
Because let's face it, the real monsters in the world don't come up and say boo. They say, hey little kid, would you like some candy?
Or hi, I'd like to talk to you about your future.
We need,
Guidance counselors.
we need to talk.
No, that's just scary for certain kinds of people.
Son, please stop.
But I mean, I know I've told a lot of people over some of my videos about some of the makeup that goes in. We always have to judge people based on, where they can work and what their fears are and health issues. We have to consider all this. Allergies are a big thing because latex allergies are real, and a lot of our makeup, prosthetics, all have latex involved, and that's
Yes.
really hard to avoid. Some people like me can't wear masks only because of, much like him, asthma issues do really tend to be painful. So we get things like prosthetics that work really nice. But health things are a big issue. We do have a medical team on standby, if I remember correctly.
Yes, full medical team.
Which is led, if I'm correct, by a porcelain doll. I wish that was a joke, but I believe she still dresses as one.
Nancy, you haunt me to this day.
It's nothing funnier than watching one of our best actors run for his truck and find her sitting in it. We're not even sure how she got in there.
That for new actors, that's something you want to have in mind, because before the night starts, you are a real person with real issues, and that needs to be accounted for. When you first start working at the haunted house, make sure you have any issues you have, whether you're claustrophobic, whether you have stress anxiety when it comes to crowds.
If you have hemophilia,
I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds
fear of
dirty.
blood.
It is dirty. Okay. Yeah, because they're
Well, keep in mind, most of our makeup, blood, fear of blood, that's a thing.
that latex allergies. You want to make sure you have all that in mind, and we'll work with the haunted house can work with you on almost any word I'm looking for. Situation that they can work with any situation, and your makeup doesn't have to be super elaborate to be effective.
It just has to be viably effective. Sometimes, I mean, a simple thing of spray paint over your face will work for a position you might be in.
Shoot, Heavy Arms here. He goes through a lot of time. He doesn't even need face paint. He just scares
We
people.
actually do have a funny story from a few years back. There was a rainstorm. I showed up late because my truck wouldn't start. I ran out to the Field of Screams, literally was told my position. I grabbed a quick costume, threw it on, and just went. No makeup, no hair, no nothing. The rain draped my hair, which is shoulder length at the time, over my face, and people were freaked out by what looked like some weird emo goth kid coming out of the floor. And that's just because I kept laying down.
That one of the fun ones I had working in the back swamp. Again, it's a swamp scenario, so everything's looking
Do we
pretty.
still have that?
Yeah, we set the swamp.
I heard last year they took it out.
No, it's there.
Oh.
No, it's getting old werewolf's going to the swamp. But any hoodles, the swamp. No, that again, I had no face paint on at all. I just wore a suit, a full regular average Joe. Went to the thrift store and got a button shirt, a tie, a jacket.
A Goodwill suit, not one of the fancy Men's Warehouse ones.
And I wore that. I just put that on, and I was just so out of place in such a scenic area that people identified me as a character. But again, it's your performance, not what you look like, that can do it. So if you're worried about, well, I can't afford the $3,000 mask. Yes, there are masks that cost $3,000. Trust me, I'm saving for one.
I know who you're talking about too. If it's the same guy I think it is. You're trying to think of his name too, aren't you?
I am. But any hoodles. Yeah, so don't worry about spending tons of money on all this stuff. You can start out simple. And again, we have people at the haunted house. We have, I myself, I can't, 2001, so however many years that is, I don't do math. So it's
16. Well, when the season starts this year, it'll be 16 years.
So
yes, we're old. Get used to it.
I've played with most prosthetics, most applications. That if you have something that you're thinking about doing and you're really serious about joining the project, talk to somebody who's out there. That whether the office, the haunted house office, will put you in touch with somebody, or just go find us on Facebook. Just type in, you just go to the Niles Haunted House webpage, just click.
And almost every one of us is on there, and most of us are really nice people.
Yeah.
And if you're afraid of us and you meet us in real life, I promise, we're not always in haunt mode. Yes, we always think about haunted house, but we're not always out to get you.
Yeah, and just click
on
there.
Most of us.
That, or even just people who aren't even involved with our project, just go on Facebook and just put a recommendation on there for how to. That there's so many people who are willing to help you just because it's an art. It may be a morbid, scary art, but it's still an art, and there's tons of people who love the whole idea of being able to help another person. So don't be afraid to ask.
Which leads back to, it's charity work. That's what we do. So on average, per year, how much would you say the haunt raises for charity? Mind you, I can say personally I missed the last 2 years due to work.
That, I can't remember the numbers.
I mean, I think the last year I worked, I think we made close to $60,000 for charity.
Yeah. You two quit. Sit down.
His kids. They're adorable, but they're hyper.
They want to play.
Well, you did bring them to a park.
I did bring them to a park.
That's my fault. I was here.
Shame.
Hey, I get outdoors. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, I can't remember the actual numbers, but just a reference of how much, if somebody is part of a charity and wants to help out, a single team. It was just me and my dad. We're the only two people in our group. and I was giving back to the Buchanan High School theater. In one season, me and him were able to raise $1,700, which that was one of those years we weren't really busting on the overtime hours out there. It was mostly seasonal, and I think maybe like 50 hours off season. But like we raised enough money where the high school was able to buy a spotlight for the theater. So that's just me and my dad helping out. There's some we have Make-A-Wish Foundation that they have raised thousands of dollars. The Girl Scout troop out of Kalamazoo has gone to Italy just off of working out at the Haunted House. That is their only fundraiser that they put towards it, and the entire Girl Scout troop went to Italy, sponsored by the Haunted House.
Shoot, even I haven't been to Italy.
So it's one of those, if you have an organization that needs extra money and you want to do something fun, it's a good, two birds, one stone scenario.
And remember, charity work always looks good on a resume.
Yep.
It really does.
So, so there's that one.
I think really the last real question, since I'm certain you're probably tired after work and you got kids that want to go play, and I don't want to keep you too busy. And I'm getting ready because it's movie night. They're playing Star Wars.
They are?
Rogue One tonight.
Okay.
I haven't heard great things. That's not me judging the entire franchise. I'm just saying I haven't heard great things about this film. So those
I have my own reserves about Rogue One. It hurt. Personally, Rogue One hurt because I already knew it was going to happen. It's mostly just, yay, Star Wars special effects. That's what Rogue One was.
I guess the last thing I will say is, because I know there are actually some workers from the Haunt who probably see this, any last words you'd like to tell them about the upcoming season? Because ironically, I don't even know what our theme is this year. Nobody's really said anything.
No.
Or better yet, for those who watch this and want to try out, when do we start doing the training? Because yes, there is training involved.
Yeah, there's lots of training in that before you can work out the Haunted House, you have to go through a training session. Depending on which one you're going to do, get in contact the Dallas Haunted House office. Stanley will do links somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere. I don't know.
Heavy, not Stanley.
Okay.
It's all right. They already know my name from yesterday at this point.
Okay. But yeah, you want to contact the office. Training will be posted. It's still too early in the year for the sessions to be scheduled.
All right. Well,
We'll find out the month before.
of course.
No, I'm not.
Tyler, thank you so much for joining me out here today. I'm glad you could take time to come help out. We've been trying to rope him in for a while because he's actually one of my oldest friends and a really good, as weird as it is, he's a good actor. He will not do stage performance. But Haunted House, that's a whole nother ballpark.
I'm safe behind my mask.
Not really. We work, the Haunted House is a war zone, especially the field.
People don't have to like me.
But Tyler, you have a great day, and for you fans out there, just remember, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with that uncle with the weird teeth, share it with your dog. Maybe they'll share it some more, who knows? Leave a comment in the section below to let us know what you'd like to see next, or if you have an idea for something you'd like to do. We're always open to content.
Down from there. Get down.
And as always, stay safe out there.